You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee. I don't know where the hell Envy went. Oh, he's on the road promoting his single.
He has a single now.
He's got a single now.
He's an artist.
Now we have the cast from the Step documentary here. Introduce yourself, ladies.
Hey, everybody. I'm Corey Granger.
Hey, I'm Taylor Solomon.
What's up, guys? I'm Blessing Geraldo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gary McIntyre, also known as Coach G.
Good morning, y'all.
Now
Good
listen,
morning.
let me tell you how exciting it is to see a movie like this, because I've actually been to like a billion step shows and I'm always impressed whenever I see it, right? But you guys are incredible. So let's talk about how your whole step team came about and it was formed.
Well, the STEP team was founded in 2009 at the Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women. The first time, I'm actually the founder of the STEP team, and the first time I encountered STEP was at an HBCU in Baltimore. And immediately I knew if I could start a STEP team, it would keep me in connection with going to college and being motivated. And then the sisterhood aspect came into play when they were really interested in figuring out what STEP was and learning about the rich culture as well.
So you were only 11?
Wow.
Yeah, I was 11.
11 years old when she decided to start the STEP team.
Focus. I like focus.
Thank you.
Now, one of the themes is also how the STEP team has actually helped you guys want to actually come to school. Because sometimes it's hard. You know, when you're in school, you don't feel like going. Nobody feels like going to class. But that actually encouraged you guys to have something to get up and want to be there for.
Yeah. Yep, if you didn't make it to school that day, you wouldn't be making it to step practice. Step practice was something that we enjoyed, not only because it was fun, but, you know, it was a way for us to deal with the problems that we were having at home or the problems we were having with school. It was a break from academics. It was just a big coping mechanism for a lot of us.
And also finding your voice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are shy and really don't know how to speak out. And when you step, you have sisters that encourage you to do these things, and you build confidence, and you build a lot of sisterhood as well. So being on stage, it mainly turned on people's social fears. And when we step, we not only entertain, we also educate. Yeah. So that's something that Coach G helps us do.
You can tell y'all got the confidence, though, because a lot of kids y'all age are very socially awkward. And they come in here and they can't say anything because they're so used to, like, speaking with their thumbs online.
Right.
You know?
Now, the school, Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women, let's discuss how this documentary even happened, because it didn't even start off as a documentary about the STEP team.
Well, it sort of did. It did start off about like the STEP team because we wanted to show a different side of Baltimore. A lot of people think of Baltimore, they think of this scary, dangerous place, and that's not the end all be all Baltimore. There is
We
hope,
see in The
there
Wire.
is talent. Exactly. Right. A lot of people reflect on The Wire, and that's the only like inspiration or like, you know, ideal that people have of Baltimore, and that isn't the truth.
I don't know about that. I remember one time my alternator went out driving from South Carolina to New York.
Oh yeah,
and it
you
went out
see
like
some stuff.
it went out right around Baltimore, like right in the Baltimore area, and I had to get a hotel in this.
Oh, yeah, it probably
I
was a
heard
little
gunshots. I heard people screaming, like it was like being in a movie.
What hotel was that?
I don't even remember.
Probably in like Holiday Inn.
It was a real bad part because it was right by the mechanic shop. And it was like
And that's how you knew it
That
was a
must've
bad
been a
part.
motel.
yes, I couldn't even hardly lock the door
A Holiday
of the hotel.
Inn.
No, it's worse than Holiday
But
Inn.
our point is, it's more than just that. You
Right.
know, where
They
we come
portray that
from-
all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And where we come from, we see stuff like that every day. But we also see girls coming together, girls with big hopes and dreams who want to make a difference in the world, just like ourselves and the rest of our STEP team. And that's really what we want to show everybody else. You know, it's not all about that. And it's definitely important to us to give back to the youth. So we're really big on community service. For example, during the time of the Freddie Gray uprising, a lot of the news outlets were only showing the uprising. They were only showing like cars set on fire or burnt or violence. But they weren't showing the next day when a lot of us went out to clean up the city, when a lot of us were out there talking to the police, giving them waters because they had to be out there all day patrolling, you know. So we just
Why you
are
ain't give
here
them
to
Pepsis?
show.
Don't you do that. Don't do that.
Do you feel The Wire depicted Baltimore in a negative way, though?
I feel like it touched on the aspect that every city has. Every city has drugs and violence, but The Wire is great. I've seen all seasons, but that's not all that Baltimore has to offer. So now when people ask me where I'm from, I say Baltimore, and they're going to say, is it like The Wire? I'm going to say no. It's like Step the movie.
There you go.
You got to have some balance. It's not all...
Yep. It's not all bad and it's not all good. I mean, you're not going to come in and see rainbows and just people being happy. Every city has its downfalls, but Baltimore is a special place.
Now let's talk about the director for this movie, because her mom is actually the person who founded the school. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Director Amanda Lippitz.
Amanda Lipitz. But originally, she was doing a documentary about the school. Is that how it started off? No?
No, she did short films for the school to help raise
Okay.
money because we are a public charter high school.
Hmm. And then you said, okay, I want you to come and see our step team. And that was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, the worst thing she could do is say no. So
Yeah.
I figured, why not ask her? Because I've always seen her with cameras, and I feel like we had a lot to say.
Right.
Being from Baltimore, being little black girls from an urban community, a lot of people think that we don't have a lot to say, or even aspirations at all at that. So I felt like displaying something like this can not only start changing Baltimore, but across the country.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't this movie blow up at Sundance?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So it won an inspirational film award.
Got
at
you.
Sundance. So it was a
Charlamagne, you're
special
going to
jury-
love it. You got to see it.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I-
a special juries award. They won a special jury award for inspirational film.
Yeah, that's when I first heard about it. There was people were saying how it blew up at Sundance. I didn't know what they were talking about.
And that's your Michelle Obama. You guys met Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
right?
And we met Charlamagne.
Yes, that same day, and I met Michelle Obama as well. We all did. Yeah.
That's all he cared about.
We
Yeah.
actually did a private performance for Michelle Obama when we met her. So it was so exciting as a coach, like for her to say, "Oh, let me see what y'all got," and like Beyonce, Jennifer Hudson, the Lethal Ladies, like it's a really big deal. It was really exciting.
That
Yeah,
is-
Michelle put y'all on because she tweeted about y'all.
Yeah.
And
She's
not
on
the only one.
Instagram.
She's not the
So-
only one though. Great Michelle, but also
Gabrielle.
Tina
Gabrielle
Knowles.
Union, Tina
Wow.
Knowles, my soror, Angela
Angela
Bassett, Courtney Vance. So many people
Yeah,
have
a bunch
supported
of
this
amazing
film.
people.
Anika Noni Rose, who has supported the film since Sundance.
Didn't Jay-Z have something to do with it initially? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
correct
no.
him.
I hope
Gotcha.
he is
they
inspired and
see
watches
it.
and loves it. Tell his mother-in-law should tell him to watch it.
Because she
went
took a
she
group
took her
to
group
see
to
it.
see it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Opening day.
All right, so what do you want young women to get when they see this movie, Step?
Well, all of us go through a lot of troubles, but in the end, you see a lot of our triumph. And so we just want people to realize that it's not about where you start, it's not about what you don't have, but it's about making the best out of what you do have to get to the best ends. You know, and so we just want to inspire people. We want people who look like us. We want to be those role models in media that little black girls don't see. You know, we want them to look at us and be like, oh, I can do that too. Or I can do whatever I want to do, because a lot of times we don't have the motivators to, you know, keep us going.
I find it interesting that you said you gave the police officers water. Like, do you want to improve like racial tensions between police and citizens of Baltimore? Because I'm sure some citizens of Baltimore who absolutely hate the police.
Yeah.
There are. And I think there needs to be a balance and a point of understanding. And a lot of police brutality doesn't only go on in Baltimore, it goes on across the United States. And we fight for this every decade, and it's just hard for us to overcome something like this where we feel like we're just being I can't even it's
Targeted.
just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so hard because a lot of people there are scared to raise families, and they don't really have hope for the future when all of this is happening. So there needs to be a solution to the problem, but each year we just can't figure it out.
Yeah, and that's why giving back is so important to us, because a lot of people from Baltimore, they make it out and they do a bunch of amazing things, but they forget about where they come from and saving the youth, because not everybody has that confidence or like that backbone to say, look, I can get up and I can do this and I can be whoever I want to be. They look outside of their doors, they see what they see. That's all they know.
Right.
They don't know how to dream, and that's why it's so important to us to come back and influence the little people, because they matter, especially being so impressionable right now. Social media being involved. We want people to appreciate individuality again, being genuine and not living a double life on like social media. Like, appreciate your flaws. A lot of people talk about success, but miss the part of talking about how they got there.
Absolutely. You got to
And-
embrace the process, man.
Yeah.
Put the weed in the bag is what I like to call it.
Okay.
No, I mean, because, you know, in the movie Belly, when those two young kids wanted to get money, DMX and Nas was like, yo, put the weed in the bag first, then get money. So that's basically everything is a process. People don't enjoy the process anymore.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And also, you don't know what's going on in people's personal lives. Like, you can come to school and come together, the Lethal Ladies, and step and have a great time, but you could go home and not have enough food to eat. And
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't necessarily know what your sisters are going through. And there's 19 of us on the team. We all talk, but it's certain things that you're sensitive about and that you might not know, that I might not know that Corey or Blessing is going through something, but we might be going through the same thing, but we don't know how to talk about it to each other because some circumstances are hard to get through. So when we actually finished the movie and watched the movie together, we realized, oh, it was a time when my lights were out.
Yeah.
Or it was a time I didn't have anything to eat. Or it was a time where me and my mother didn't know what we were going to eat, so we just slept because we knew the next day that we would have something to eat. So everybody has struggles. We have the same struggles, but no one wants to talk about them and solve them.
What was it like when you guys watched the movie together for the first time?
Very emotional.
Yeah, and weird to see myself on the big screen.
I would say we went to Sundance and we saw the movie together as a team, the whole entire team for the first time. Myself and the director of college counseling, Paula Dofat. So, you know, seeing the movie for the first time, especially knowing how everything happened, knowing how things played out.
Yeah.
It was super emotional to see, like, some things that you didn't know about people, some things that you didn't know, to laugh at things like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you do that. But to really see yourself like, oh wow, that's how I look on camera. That was interesting. And then just to see the empathy, the sisterhood, the women empowerment. The movie really touched on so many different topics. A lot of the taboos that are out there, a lot of the stereotypes that are out there. I think Amanda's mission was to erase, you know. Maisha Taylor's mother is a correctional officer, and she mentioned that the police officers were her best friends when she was growing up. They were officer friendlies. They would come knock on the door. And, you know, I live in the area where Freddie Gray was murdered. The police officers knock on my door, you good, check on me, I give them water, whatever. So it's not like I think that Amanda's mission was to erase a lot of the stereotypes about Black Lives Matters, erase a lot of stereotypes about teen moms, about police officers, about depression, about all of those important topics that people don't talk about.
Right.
All we're talking about is Instagram, Facebook, likes, all of those things. And really, those really don't matter in real life. What matters is how you measure success and how you get there and the failure that it takes to get there. Like, you have to fail to succeed.
Yes.
And also to show that kids do need these outlets.
Absolutely.
They need
support system.
Yes,
Like
'cause-
that's my part in the documentary. I'm like the creative kid who sometimes has a problem with balancing out my academics. But for me, this is my testimony to talk to like the education system and like get them aware again. Like the arts matter, creative outlets matter. Like that is what kept me correlated to my academics. If you can't go to step practice, you can't go to, if you don't go to school, you don't go to step practice.
Right.
And that's how a lot of people find their niche in the world, and to just erase that from somebody without even giving them the opportunity that's a major issue for me.
When they cut school budgets and they get rid of all those extra
But they have so much
activities.
funding for jails, and
and casinos.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, arts and sports is directly related to education. It's directly related to left brain, right brain function.
Break it down for
So,
us.
The left brain, right brain function.
Well, what's the correlation you
So
mean?
your body, the right brain controls the left side of the brain. The left side of the brain controls the right side of the brain. And arts and sports and all of those things are connected to one side of your brain. Your education and learning. Like, if you ever notice kids who do tapping, shake their leg, chewing gum, doing those things, they need a rhythm to learn. If you watch Akilah and the Bee, she needed to jump rope. She needed a pat. She needed a tap so that she can learn. That is how our brain works.
That's why it's easy to remember things when they got a beat to it.
Exactly. That's why the ABC song is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Yeah.
Because it's the same melody. So you have to acknowledge that arts and sports really matter. Arts and sports are really directly connected to education. And if we continue to cut that from our youth, then we will continue to fail our youth, and they will continue to go down the wrong paths and do the wrong things and make the wrong decisions. And I mean, really, it's up to the policyholders to take responsibility and say, you know what, we need to pour ourselves into, or you know what, I wouldn't even say it's up to the policyholders, because as a Black community, we've been doing this for centuries. You know what I'm saying? I think that this movie is a call to action for mentors, teachers, leaders to stand up and say, we have to fight for our youth. We have to see that these things matter. And they make a difference in people's lives, because these are 3 different young ladies who came from a very interesting circumstances. But think about people who have it 10 times worse than them, who this would save their lives.
Was it hard for you ladies to put your personal business out there like that? Like your home life and...
For a lot of us, I would say no, because we were just living our daily lives, and then the cameras came around. And for me, I didn't necessarily think about such a grand scheme that such a big platform that we would have. I didn't expect for it to become a whole movie and for Fox Searchlight to buy it, and then it goes to theaters and DVDs, you know.
Yeah, we're like
and
living
so
a dream.
we thought initially it would be just like something to look back on and reminisce about senior year, but for it to have turned out like this, it's nothing that we could have ever even expected.
Is the rest of the team going to be mad that they didn't get invited to the Breakfast Club? Since it's 19 of y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
wanna be
They all
here.
want to be here with you.
Yeah.
They were like, I actually have a list of requests.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you honor them,
The
that would
team
be
loves
great.
you.
They
Got you.
love you
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Maybe one day we can just.
You
gotta
can take
meet
a
up
step
with us
class
or
with the
something,
team.
like, we
Yeah,
were
come to
Yeah.
Baltimore. You guys should come to
Slim.
Baltimore.
Yes,
Meet
they
the
are.
team.
Y'all in a safe area?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm not, but
I mean,
you
we
good with
good
me.
in the hood.
You good.
If y'all with us, we gonna hold y'all down.
Yeah.
Like
y'all-
we got
We get a
y'all.
pass.
Did y'all,
You need to get a crab
in the
cake.
building. So
Yes.
We got you.
word. Did y'all partake in the 72-hour ceasefire?
We weren't there.
Okay.
But
We
it
were
actually
in-
took
we were
place
here
the day
actually.
that the movie premiered. So I think that's something that gave Baltimore like a sense of, all right, y'all, let's chill, put the guns down,
to the movie.
and do something
Yeah.
positive.
Go to the movie support step.
But 2
and
people
not
still
kill
got
each other.
shot.
But that's better than what it could have been.
Got you.
Because we had one weekend with 10
Yeah.
shootings. One weekend.
Yikes.
Last summer
And-
was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really crazy.
So what's next for you ladies now?
School.
Because that was the goal. Everybody's
Yeah.
going to graduate and graduate
Degree.
from
Go
college.
to college.
2 and 3.
So all 3 of us are rising sophomores at our respective universities. I'm at Johns Hopkins University studying computer science and international studies with a minor in Spanish.
Dope.
I'm at Alabama A&M University studying urban planning with a minor in political science.
Dope.
The University of Baltimore, my major is business marketing, minor in graphic design and communications.
Dope.
Creative.
I want to ask y'all, all 3 of y'all, what does the term black girl magic mean to y'all? Because y'all absolutely, exemplify that. Exude. Yes.
Thanks. For me, it's all about being multidimensional. So ever since I can remember, like starting school, I was always the nerdy kid. I was always more involved in the academic side of things, and STEP was really the first creative outlet that I wanted to try. And even now, I'm working on becoming a model. And so for me, Black Girl Magic is all about, being able to mold, try out different things, and you don't have to just pick one thing and stick with it. You can be whatever it is that you want to be, even if they have no correlation.
Dope.
For me, Black Girl Magic means supporting your Black sisters. A lot of people tend to tear each other down, and I feel like that's something that we're trying not we're trying not to do. So when I hear Black Girl Magic, I think of me. I think of any other Black girls who's doing it. Like they're popping, they're doing what they need to do. They're successful, and they're just getting it.
For me, Black Girl Magic is paving the way, because if we don't own it, if we aren't involved within it, we make a way. Like, we will work hard, we will break through barriers, we won't take no for an answer. And it's being like a trailblazer, being a leader, especially being so strong. Like, we're very strong. We never got anything easy, but it never tears us down. It never discourages us. It kind of gives us,
Makes you stronger.
yeah, it makes us stronger. I think we come out twice as strong. And on top of that, our hair is so versatile.
I want to
Yeah, all got different
And we
hairdos
just
today.
have like a different style of swag and flavor, and I just love being a Black girl. Well, I'm actually Afro-Latina, but I embrace my Blackness so much. I love being around my sisters. So
There you go.
Black Girl Magic is everywhere.
Yeah, I want to just add that Black Girl Magic is what these young ladies are and what is inside of each and every one of us as in the African American community. We truly exude greatness in everything we do. And if you love yourself, you can love someone else and help them get to that level of love for yourself. And Jesse Williams said it best: just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real. So at the end of the day, Black girls rock.
Woo woo.
Here
Totally.
we go.
Round of applause. Step is out now, right?
Yes.
It's out right now.
And the hashtag is Step is Life.
Yes.
Step is life.
Step is life.
So it's in theaters everywhere now.
Not
It's in
everywhere.
Baltimore, LA, Chicago,
Detroit.
Atlanta.
If you follow
right
at
now.
Step the Movie, you can find a list of all the cities it'll be in and when.
Charlamagne, you got to take your daughters to go see
No, I
it.
am. I want to go see it.
Yes.
I saw it's a
Bring
center.
your tissue.
Bring it to
Yeah, you're definitely going to cry. And
No,
August 14th, let's not forget that, because don't y'all have something big happening on August 14th?
Yeah. So you think you can dance?
And Teen Choice.
And
The
Teen
entire
Choice on the
team
13th,
Is
I
performing.
think. Yeah.
So
Y'all
you
working.
think you can dance. So make sure
Yeah.
y'all check that out. If you haven't seen the movie yet, you got to go see it. So you think you can dance on the 14th
Yep.
Yep.
and the 13th?
Teen Choice.
Teen Choice.
Teen Choice.
Oh,
Also,
team.
check out the August edition of Vogue magazine for a special surprise.
That means they're in it. All right.
And they did a great Black Lives Matter routine, too, that you have to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you see the movie, that's when we can chat about it.
Got you.
Hit us up on Instagram.
Okay. It's the cast of Step, y'all. Thank you for coming.